Good day, fellow investors. Good day, fellow investors. In this video, I really want to discuss my opinion on Ray Dalio, not make a summary on his thesis. I think you know them pretty well now, but really what I think about what Ray Dalio is saying now. I think that if you enjoyed this from a value perspective and my opinion, please let me know by smashing that like button. So, Ray Dalio, the three factors, the long-term debt cycle, populism taking over, and China rising as a world power that might lead to issues. We discussed Ray Dalio a lot over time, so cash is trash. 2 years ago, he was pretty correct on that. So last decade for the stock market, too early maybe, but now it looks like he was also correct on that. Great book, historical books, amazing books. Ray Dalio's Big Debt Crisis, Changing New World Order. So all amazing books. You really enjoy reading this. So I haven't read it yet complete, but will do over time. And really remarkable teachings from Ray Dalio. And whenever I mention Ray Dalio, there are many comments that you say Ray Dalio this, Ray Dalio that. A lot of people stopped liking Ray Dalio over the past because they say that he is wrong. This was 4 years ago, 70% chance for a recession, then it didn't happen. But I would like to defend here Ray Dalio because he is just saying how things are, and that's something you have to understand. And it is impossible to time these things, but understanding the risks of what's going on, it's key. And I still have to find a better source of historical analysis than Ray Dalio. So he is really one of the top researchers of economic history, and then also using that history to give us a perspective on the current world. So nobody can take that away from Ray Dalio. And this is also the principle, he's mentioning it a lot, but it is key to understand. If you're not worried, you need to worry. And if you're worried, you don't need to worry. That's key for investing, for value investing, for everything. If you look at the risks, you will solve them. You will find the solution. If not, you will not find the solution and the risk will materialize and find you. That's core. So great principles, the book principles, all really must reads and really something that you can find a lot of value in it. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't have to agree with Ray Dalio. Nobody has to agree with him, but if you can get just information and then apply that information for yourself, that adds value to yourself, and he is also working hard to give those different perspectives to increase the knowledge, which increases the stability of the whole system. When you know more, you're going for win-win situations, so that the life is better for me and life is better for you. That's something we have to give credit to Ray Dalio. And then I want to point out the huge emphasis on education. Everything starts with the bottom line, education, productivity, and education has been the hardest thing to tackle. Bill Gates threw billions at it, but it's simply impossible to change the system. For example, schools, we know public schools in Europe, in the US, I assume, are getting weaker and weaker. But the problem is that there is no management there. Simple solution. If you fire the 10% of worst teachers, in 10 years, you have great teachers, a better educational system, and those teachers that are really there to be with the kids will be better. But that is impossible to do because of unions here in Europe, because of that, because of their legal impossible. So there is really an issue with the education system. I think the situation in Europe is much better than what I hear Ray Dalio saying in the US. For example, in Europe, especially where I live, if you are in any public school, if you work, you can finish the top universities around, and then you can have a great chance in life. There are people that went to high school with me, which is a village of 10,000 people in the former Republic of Yugoslavia, war, this or that. They finished the top education in Croatia. They work in San Francisco now for Facebooks, for Googles, for European companies. So no problem there. There is really equality in education, but the whole standard is going a little bit down. Again, something to praise Ray Dalio. Worry about it, work on it, and improve the system. Now, all-weather portfolio, people ask me, Sven, all-weather, all-weather, all-weather. And I must say, I'm not a fan of all-weather. I am a fan of low-risk, high-reward. All what Ray Dalio does is minimize risk. If we look at his performance, and I think this is also back-tested, the Pure Alpha Fund was started here or something like that. So a lot of back-testing there. Nevertheless, still, if we look at what he has been doing, and this is till 2015, he hasn't done well since. His goal is for his billionaire clients to avoid volatility. So when the S&P 500 goes down, he is stable, he follows the market, S&P 500 down, he's stable, and then he tries to follow those upsides, tries to balance the portfolio, and therefore this is his great contribution for his clients. But I don't think an all-weather portfolio like this that offers you stability is what we strive for at this channel. So I will never own gold just to balance my portfolio's volatility. I will always try to own businesses no matter the volatility of my portfolio. So if I own good businesses, I am looking at owning something which gives me protection. Risk, volatility is not risk for me. For Ray Dalio, volatility is everything, is the core principle. He's invested in 180 countries, so his return will likely be in line with the business return of his investments. And that has been exactly the case. I don't think he has had positive years, positive returns since 2015. 2015, interest rates around have been zero, thus with the crazily diversified portfolio bonds, this and that, you will likely hit 0, 1, 2, 3%. In the meantime, the stock market did 7, 8%. So he lost there. I think his portfolio under management was 180 billion, now is 150 billion, so something has been going on, but this doesn't take credit to him. He is doing his job. Bridgewater did its job greatly, which is offer protection. Also something to comment, Ray Dalio is short this or that, so taking a short position means putting a little bit of money, and then if that happens, you make money like that you hold 6-7 billion, but if you buy put options, maybe you paid 100 million, few hundred million to get this 6 billion short position. That's also something you have to understand. He is long short all the time, so you can't follow what he does. He's invested in practically every country in the world where you can invest. Crazy diversification. So he is aimed at that global long-term stability, even with currencies, even with this, even with that, so that no matter what, the billionaires owning the portfolio still own it. That's something that I really wanted to share here. If you want an all-weather portfolio, you are looking for stability, and then it might fit you, but then you might be looking at the wrong investment channel here. Huge respect for Ray Dalio, so just wanted to share a little bit my opinion. Love his books, love whatever he's sharing, love his worry about helping the system, the debt cycle. Nobody has learned, he has stopped pushing his readings, but we are going down the road that he explained. Inflation is here, so debt monetization. Are you going to pay back the debts with hard currency or printed currency? The solution is simply it will be printed currency, because it's too hard to return the debt with hard money, money that you work for and money that has value. So that's the story. He has been very, very right. I'll keep learning from him, keep reading, and keep sharing also his insights, but then look at from a value investing perspective. I really like his macro to understand how these countries work. For example, he's now talking a lot about China, but whenever you mention China in the Western world, you get attacked, this, it's terrible. But he just keeps reiterating that China is just different. We are all different. I'm European, you're American, someone is Chinese, you are American, German, Australian, Chinese, wherever you are watching. We are all different, and if you try to understand my perspective from your perspective, it's impossible to understand each other. But I like his message also with the recent Charlie Rose interview. The point of it all is for all of us to make a win-win situation, because that's the most important thing. If you start fighting, then you are a lose-lose situation. We see what's going on in Ukraine, and that's something that is not good for the whole world. So you don't want to get in that situation. We educate people, he does it with books and everything. If he can avoid and contribute a little bit to all of us globally being in a win-win situation, then he really will go down as one of the greatest economists of all time. Investors, not so much. He's just doing his job, what is required of him. So still good. Not Warren Buffett magic, but stability is what he is selling, and he has been doing that pretty darn good. So thumbs up for Ray Dalio. A lot to learn, but take everything with a grain of salt and understand how, he also says, he can be wrong, but this is most likely, and that's something to understand because he is an amazing teacher of what are the risks out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.